India will not breach Western sanctions on Russia, including the price cap of $60 imposed on purchases of oil from Moscow. Bloomberg cited sources as saying, India had a detailed discussion with the US and other G7 nations on the sidelines of the group of 20 nations meeting recently, and they seem satisfied with its dealings. Source said. Israel PM Benjamin Netanyahu said the collapse of the Silicon Valley Bank (SVB) in US has led to a major crisis in the high-tech world. He assured the country's businesses banking with SVB that his government will help the affected firms in dealing with the liquidity crisis. The collapse is the biggest US banking failure since the 2008 financial crisis. Chinese Premier Li Qiang said the country's zero-COVID strategy, which sparked public protests, was completely right and provided highly effective results. It took less than 2 months for China to achieve smooth transition in its response to the disease and to restore normal socio-economic order, Qiang said. He added the country has achieved decisive victory against the disease. WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus called it a moral imperative to find out COVID-19 origins for the sake of millions who died and those who continue to live with long COVID-19. He said, exploring all hypotheses remains a scientific imperative to help us prevent future outbreaks. Ghebreyesus recalled that the agency termed the outbreak a pandemic on March 11, 2020. The leaders of the US, Australia and the UK on Monday announced that Australia will purchase nuclear-powered attack submarines from the US amid growing concern about China's influence in the Indo-Pacific. Under the AUKUS agreement, Australia can buy up to 5 nuclear-powered submarines from the US. The allies will also work together to create a new fleet using cutting-edge technology. 18 female guards have been sacked after having affairs with their inmates at a prison in UK's Wales. 3 women guards ended up in court as a result of the affairs. As per information from Freedom of Information requests, one of the guards was caught exchanging flirty messages with an inmate after smuggling a phone into the prison for him. The crew of a Germany-bound Lufthansa flight that suffered severe turbulence on March 1 had asked the passengers on board to delete all images and videos they recorded of the incident. Insider reported. A passenger alleged that as the plane descended to make emergency landing in US, an attendant announced on the loudspeaker to delete all pictures and videos. A carpet of seaweed stretching over 8,000 kilometers, that is visible from space, is threatening the beaches of Florida and Mexico. Scientists said that it can suffocate corals, devastate coastal ecosystems and reduce the quality of the water. Experts warned that the bloom is particularly alarming as invasions of beaches in the coming weeks and months could be particularly severe. A North Korean intelligence agent is facing death by firing squad after he was caught using his internet privileges to Google Kim Jong-un. Reports stated. Several agents from the regime's Bureau 10, which keeps watch on internal and external electronic communications, were caught browsing the web without authorization, according to reports. The latest report by Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, has revealed that India was the world's largest arms importer between 2018 and 2022. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Australia, and China were also among the top 5, followed by Egypt, South Korea, Pakistan, Japan and the US. India alone accounted for 11% of the total global arms imports. The report said. An influenza outbreak has been reported in China, with the positivity rate for the flu rising from 25.1% to 41.6% in a week. As per the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the city of Xi'an consequently announced a plan with measures similar to those introduced to curb COVID-19, including strict lockdowns. Reports said. Navalny, a Daniel Rohr-directed documentary on Russian President Vladimir Putin's critic Alexei Navalny, has won an Oscar for the best documentary film. Yulia Navalnaya, Navalny's wife who appeared on stage, said, "My husband is in prison just for telling the truth. My husband is in prison just for defending democracy. Alexei, I'm dreaming of the day when you'll be free." A Delhi-Doha Indigo flight made an emergency landing in Pakistan's Karachi due to a medical emergency on board, according to the airline. Unfortunately, on arrival, the passenger was declared dead by the airport medical team, Indigo said. The captain of the plane contacted the Karachi Air Traffic Control and relayed the information regarding medical emergency before landing.